The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
With a true Maisa. I've heard it from the person that it happened to multiple times. The woman in Isha Chashuva Ad Ma'od asked me, because it's a story of a very private nature, not to mention her name or where she lives. That's the only part of the story that I'm going to fabricate a name and a place. Other than that, with every pitchifka and detail, Maisa Shahaya Kachaya. I'll give the name to the woman, Mrs. Cohn. It's not a real name, but the woman happens to be, as I told you a moment ago, an incredibly chashuva woman. A number of years ago, in the city that the Cohns live in, Motzei Shabbos came, and the daughter was getting into a car to travel with a number of friends through the night to a different city where a friend on Sunday was getting married. I know the daughter. The daughter happens to be friendly with one of our daughters. After Havdalah, hopefully a late Havdalah, very late, not a good loss, but a good tvach Havdalah. She gets into the car, drives with the friends through the night to wherever the chasana is. After a number of hours, the phone rings by Mrs. Cohn, and the daughter starts shrieking, "Ma, I'm alive, I'm alive, don't worry, I'm alive." Somebody takes the phone from the daughter. It was a police officer. "Are you the mother, Mrs. Cohn?" "Yes." "I'm in the emergency room with your daughter." He starts to describe the miracle that occurred, that there was a certain amount of ice and the car skidded, and really on this road there was no barrier or anything to stop them from going over the side. But for about 10 or 15 feet, miraculously, there was pavement, concrete, and that punct happens to be what the car slammed up against. And he kept repeating to the mother, "It is a miracle within miracle, beyond a miracle, that your daughter's alive." Now, I wasn't so fair in telling you the story because I started midway through. I started by Havdalah. That's not where the story begins. The story actually begins Shabbos afternoon. So back up with me. It was Shabbos afternoon, and Mrs. Cohn took a nap. In her nap, she had a dream. Her mother had just recently passed away, and she saw her mother in a dream. And her mother, she said, looked beautiful in white. And as she got closer to her mother in the dream, she saw that her mother was sobbing. And she said, "Mom, why are you crying?" And she told me, I've heard it from her many times, and I have a rishus to say it over. Mrs. Cohn, again, name made up, told me that her mother said to her in the dream, and quoting the name of a cousin, we'll make up the cousin's name is Sarah, "After Shabbos you have to call Sarah and make up. You have to be mavater. Ozoiv." She explained to me that there was a rift between cousins, and genuinely it was not her fault, but seemingly it was a cousin's fault. But the mother said, "I can't be at peace, I can't stop crying until I know you're going to do this." And in the dream, she told me that in the dream she told her mother, "Ma, but it's so hard, it's like so difficult, I can't." And the mother kept reiterating, "I can't be at peace, and I can't stop crying until you tell me you're going to make the call." It's painful to see a mother cry. So in the dream, she told her mother, "I'll make the call." She told me she woke up, she davened mincha, she had shalosh shudas with her daughter. Throughout those hours, she was thinking, I don't know how I'm going to make the call. It will be the single most difficult thing I've ever been asked to do in my life. Now they made Havdalah, and the daughter left, but that part of the story you already know. She told me she said to Hillel in anticipating the call. She said, "I'm going to do it." I told my mother, I'm going to be Mavater. I'm going to do Ozoiv. I'm going to do it. Not Lule, but Elul. Not Sham, but now. She picked up the phone, saying Kapitluch to Hillel. The cousin answered, and she just blurted out, "I'm sorry. Let bygones be bygones." She mama said all the correct things, sincerely and genuinely. She said it all. She started to cry. The cousin started to cry. I don't know if it was 37 years. It was a long time. And Baruch Hashem, by the end of the call, There was shalom. She knew she did the right thing. If you're mevater, you're a winner. If you're mevater, you're a winner. As she was hanging up the phone from what was the most difficult thing she ever did, for some reason she looked at the clock. She wanted to see, what time was I mevater? It was 10:26 p.m. What's the Shabbos Kodesh? 10:26 p.m. End of Maisa. A little while later, a couple hours later, the phone rings. But you know what the call was. It was the daughter shrieking, "Ma, I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm alive!" The officer taking the phone and saying, it doesn't make any sense. She shouldn't be alive. The officer said, I never saw anything like it. It just doesn't make any sense. It's a miracle within a miracle within a miracle. It doesn't make sense that she's alive. Mrs. Cohn said to the officer, Officer, are you the one who was there by the accident? Did you take the report? He said, yeah. She said, did you document what time the accident happened and what time they were saved? Yeah. Do you mind reading what the paper said? He said, sure. And he told her, it says the accident happened and they were saved at 10:26 p.m. That is exactly the way the Maisa happened. The only thing you're not aware of is the name of the city, because out of respect to the lady, this Isha Chashuva Admoid, I told her that I would keep to those words.
Enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org